Oh, are you ready?
Oh, yeah. Ready, yeah.
Yeah, we've already started the podcast. We're about 10 seconds in. I was waiting for you to say something.
No, I was waiting for you to say something, buddy. All I heard was some interesting sounds. Welcome back, guys, to the Ennui Talk podcast.
I'm do the
host,
fucking
Sam.
intro. I probably shouldn't swear in the first 30 seconds, but we've done it.
That was my one opportunity to intro the podcast. That is awesome.
Your one and only. Welcome back to the Ennui Talk podcast. I'm your host, Matthew Winter. And when Kanye West said, my ex said she gave me the best years of my life, I saw a recent picture of her. I guess she was right. I felt that. Sam, how are you going? Do you like that little...
Oh, yeah, I'm going great. How's it going?
Good. Did you like
Sam
Ron
Davis here.
Did you
I
like Ron at all? So, okay.
No,
I
just don't know what...
Do you want to lead it? Do you want to read it out for you? Okay, so Kanye West, in his song, 30 Hours, he says, my ex, she gave me the best years of my life. That's what she said. And I saw a recent picture of her. I guess she was right. Meaning that, ever since we broke up, she's ugly and fat now. So I relate to that. That's what I'm trying to say. Do you understand now? Do you get it? I'm relating to rap lyrics because I'm a white man.
It's kind of fucked, actually.
What, that is?
No, that you relate to that.
What do you mean? Well, no, it means I'm onto bigger and better things. Obviously.
Oh, I see. No, yeah, good for you, man.
You
That's
are the
good.
worst
That's
fucking
good.
co-host. I cannot believe. Welcome back to the Ennui Talk podcast. I'm your host, Matthew Winter. I've already introduced the podcast, haven't I? I'm just going to do it again. Welcome back to the Ennui Talk podcast. I just want to bring up the fact that I've had kids from work who have listened to the podcast and watched clips on Instagram and TikTok, and they're laughing at me. They're like, oh, why are you talking about Logan Paul? You're 26. He's 28. Do people make fun of you for being on this podcast?
It is kind of weird, not going to lie.
How is it fucking weird?
No, because I don't have any friends.
Very well.
I don't know anyone.
You do have friends. Remember the guys you made videos with? What happened there? No, I'm sorry. That was mean. I'm sorry.
Shut up, bro.
No, come on. No. We're good. Please, look, I don't want this.
I ditched them.
I don't want there to be a commentary video 2 years from now. And that's the, that's the first crack in the relationship of Matt and Sam.
The drama. What happened in this group? We'll
Did you
find
just say
out
drama?
today.
Drama?
Drama. Isn't that how they say it sometimes? It's channels. Drama. Too much drama.
I actually remember there was one point I really wanted to get into commentary videos and get into the drama. And then I realized it's sort of cringe.
It is. You don't make
YouTube
those
drama.
videos.
This guy, I don't know. They all, every single, there's a meme that goes around the internet and it's as soon as you hit 100,000 subscribers, you're automatically attracted to kids, want to groom kids. Because that's what happens to every famous YouTuber.
What's his face? Dream guy.
Did he get? Apparently, he groomed kids.
He had some questionable shit. Yeah, he definitely had some questionable things. That's all of them. EDP. Oh no, that's a joke. That one. I couldn't bring that one up.
Okay, we're gonna bring it up. EDP loves kids. I don't know. I think do you think that it's weird people? YouTubers are inherently weird. People who want to do YouTube 9 times out of 10, they're either weird or they're I don't know, fucking alpha male, entrepreneurs who see YouTube as a cash cow. It's either one or the other. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, there's that, but I feel like some of them are just weirdos to begin with, and then they make that one viral video that gives them their big break, and they never changed, obviously. EDP 445, it was just that video of him saying to the camera, I can't remember what it was, but it was this speech he said, and everyone thought it was so funny. I don't know. It's
I vaguely remember what you mean too.
Yeah, it was that viral video he made, and he wasn't ever meant to be famous, but because he was just bluntly talking about himself, and that was probably what was more unsettling. It wasn't a tongue-in-cheek joke. He was actually serious, but that everyone thought, oh, this is such a funny meme. I'm going to send this to everyone. But yeah, I don't know. I think a lot of YouTubers are good people. I don't think that's an automatic thing. It's that isn't. But yeah,
it's the vocal minority of pedophile YouTubers. You know what I mean?
It's just weird. All I remember was like one of the first was like Sky Does Minecraft and like
But
Lion Maker
I don't
as
think he
well.
was. I don't think Does Minecraft was a creep. All I
The
remember
Lion
was
Maker definitely was.
yes, correct. He loved kids.
That was like one of the first that was exposed, I think, of like YouTubers that have like in that sort of community, like where they're playing a game that's obviously got kids playing it as well. Why are we talking about this?
No, because it's
This
interesting.
Makes me really fucking sad.
Does it really? No, but it is interesting. But like,
Yeah.
you know what? Any other podcast would go, "Oi, you want to have a guess like what the next like YouTube pedo is? Like, is it fucking review? Remember that? You know the review of the week guy? Like." People would go, oh, he's weird. I bet he has like 6 kids in his basement. We're not here to make jokes like that. This is like an elite, it's an elite level podcast.
Yeah,
we're
we're
highbrow.
tasteful.
Tasteful.
So especially, if you go to a compilation of all the greatest moments of Ennui, all the jokes are tasteful. Every single one.
Bill Cosby jokes, ISIS jokes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Diddling kid jokes. But I think... Can you
even
make
that word just like
diddling kids?
No one should ever say the word diddling, and or no, because that just like what the fuck, man.
Do you think like you can make like good jokes about diddling kids? Like legitimately, no. Like I don't know.
Well, not for me because that's not what I find funny. So I don't think. Oh, now we're getting all serious here. No, honestly, like I don't think I'd ever laugh at a joke like that. Some people would. Some people are like, oh, but no, not me.
I think it's like
boring.
Really for me, it's like sometimes we make jokes between mates as like, oh, no, don't go near him. He's a kid diddler. But it's like you can't like make an actual joke about, I don't know, diddling kids. Do you know what I mean? Like,
no.
I think it's like in the same category as like dead baby jokes. Like dead baby jokes aren't even funny. Like, where's the creativity in that? There's none. Well, like but okay. Then again, last episode, my Bill Cosby joke. That was about
that was hilarious. Though that was like it worked because it's obviously very tongue in cheek.
Do you think that it's also like social commentary and it's like
social taboo? Sorry, Filthy Frank reference.
Yes, and it was a very fucking shit one. Speaking of Filthy Frank, I was listening to Pink Guy in the car on the way home from work.
You're one
today.
of his only monthly listeners. Holy shit.
That's not funny. He has some good songs. Do you have a favorite Pink Guy song? I do.
They were good when I was like 18. Dora the Explorers.
Really? Dora the Explorer.
Don't sing it. Don't just that. I used to play that in school, thinking it was so funny, and then everyone's like, "What the fuck is wrong with you?"
It is kind of fucked up. However, I really like the song, and to be honest, I like the Dan Schneider one, the one about.
That's the best one. That's the one I blasted in my car.
There's that. For nostalgia, I really like "Kill Yourself."
I didn't say that. Yeah,
"Kill Yourself," and I know all the lyrics.
I know all the lyrics. Yeah, I know all the lyrics as well.
Should I perform it for you?
We're not. No. We're not doing that. Maybe later on in the podcast.
Poo, poo, pee, pee, penis and vagina. Woman with dicks and weeks, men with vagina. So fucking. But what the song I really, really like is "She's So Nice," where it's talking about like, oh yeah, treat her like a bitch. I fuck her in the and then it's
I thought it was different. I thought it was one of his more.
What's the one that goes? There's a really good line in it. I'll bring out the lyrics in a minute. But like, it's good like. Comedic like back and forth where it's like, oh yeah, treat her like a bitch, she's a fat whale, she's so fat like a land whale, shoot that girl with a harpoon, fuck her in her little whale pussy, and then the chorus is, but she's so nice, but she's so nice.
With this podcast,
this is a really good. We're breaking down Pink Guy songs. We should do a whole episode. 3 hours of just breaking down Filthy Frank originals. Agreed?
Well, no, maybe off one for the paywall, maybe. But the what's the one where he's like, I'm dying inside.
Oh, I know the song.
I see your demons. That's like his only that's the only serious and decent Pink Guy song. The one that's actually that's not like a joke.
Oh, like seriously deep.
That was so good. Yeah, and also STFU is great.
It is a good song. I don't know. I mean, there was a point where it was like he was Pink Guy, then he was trying to be serious, like Pink Omega, and then it was like Pink Guy, Pink Omega, same person, same thing. He felt like he could do serious music and comedy music at the same time. I don't know. It was just
Yeah, I don't know. Don't know if it works, but I always preferred the Pink guys that were like, you know, it's the musician Pink guy, but it's actually got really serious and sad undertones to the song. That's kind of weird though.
but then that's what he started doing towards the end, and it was like less comedic. It was still comedic. It was just more. I don't know. It was like It was refined. It was more mainstream in a lot of ways. You know what I mean? Like it
Do
had.
you remember
Mm.
Do you remember the first Joji album? The very
Which
first
one was the
one?
first one? So was that
It wasn't
in tongues?
a studio release.
No, I do.
No.
I vaguely
It was
do.
the non-studio release that he just uploaded to his YouTube channel under the name Joji, like 2015 or something. And one of the songs was Old Yeller.
Oh, I vaguely do. I vaguely do.
Yeah. It's OG Joji. I love that shit. Old Yeller is like his best song.
You wonder, like, I don't know, like Filthy Frank was a Joji. When he made YouTube videos, he was a product of the time. You know, you could get away with all of that stuff, blah, blah, blah. Like these days, obviously, wouldn't work whatsoever. But it's interesting to see like YouTubers and like creators transfer into music. Like he was a guy who was always doing music on the side regardless.
Yeah.
That started making stuff. And then you see all like, then it goes into this conversation about like TikTok, like people using TikTok who are like musicians, not really. And they're more like YouTube musicians. Like, I don't know, like a Gabby Hanna. Remember Gabby Hanna?
Oh man. She fell off. Yeah.
Remember the
My
classic...
friend saw her at VidCon. My friend met her at VidCon, I think.
Really?
Yeah. I missed her because I wasn't there that day. But...
Absolutely cringe. I'm sorry. But
yeah, it wasn't good.
No, she's all right. But like...
She death stared my friend, actually. Sorry.
That's odd. Why?
Oh, he was just filming and she just death stared him. Yeah. It's VidCon, so everyone's filming.
See, Gabby Hanna seems a lit... I don't know. There's the whole thing like recently. I think she's like going manic, completely manic. She was uploading like 12 TikToks a day, and like some guy like broke into her house and all this shit and blah blah blah. Regardless, not interesting whatsoever for our listeners. But Gabby Hanna was the girl with the maybe I'm the monster, and she was like on that Genius interview. Do you know the one I'm talking about?
Yeah, they memed it to death because it was so bloody awful. Yeah, no, that's it. That shit. See, I never really followed those sorts of YouTubers that like the platform promoted. All those ones, I don't think I watched any of their videos actually, because it was it didn't really feel like YouTube. As soon as it's being promoted by the corporation, it takes away from YouTube. You know what I mean? Like why would you want to watch that? The whole point of YouTube was watching like at home people like this in their freaking house recording a video.
But they started as that too. But doing like, I don't know, you know, walk with me vlog, or I don't know, kitchen haul, or...
But did anyone follow them from the beginning? Not many. I reckon YouTube, they were artificial.
I think that's the people who were watching YouTube at the time, like majorly kids, because kids were like and now it's different because kids are brought up on the internet, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And it's like, it does have an older audience too.
That?
What, going up on the
like
internet?
The kids being brought up in like modern internet, like when we were kids, I can't imagine what that would be like if that were me. When we were kids, it was literally just 10-minute videos of people talking to a camera unedited in their room. That was what I was able to find on YouTube when I was like a really little kid, you know, like 7, 8. Because, you know, we're obviously, if anyone doesn't know, we're obviously, you know, young.
Yeah, so I just had my 21st.
Yeah. YouTube was brand new when Matthew was about like 8 and I was about like 5. But yeah.
What were you watching on YouTube like as like a 13-year-old, 14-year-old?
I'll talk about. I thought you were gonna ask what you were watching as like when the first thing you ever watched. I remember that, but what I was watching as a 13, 14-year-old was Shitcase Cinema. I think I mentioned this on the podcast many times. I was watching Nostalgia Critic. I was watching JonTron and Scare Theater, which I still watch. That's the only one I still watch every upload.
So it was very like movie based
channels. Oh yeah, real horror based, or creepypasta shit, or yeah, movie review stuff. I loved YouTube movie reviewers, shit like that. But at the beginning, when the website first came out, I remember the first video, or I don't like remember clicking on it, but I remember finding the video years later and remembering it, if that makes any sense, from 2006 when it was like on the front page of YouTube in Australia, and it got like 100,000 views in like the first week and has got like 10 views since. And it was just some shitty like voice answering machine played over a TV show on SBS. And that was an Australian upload in 2006. But yeah,
I have a really, really like a very similar story. So when I was like, I would have been like 16, 17, I was on Pornhub and there was this video of this blonde girl and this brunette girl, and they invited over the nerd, and they were like the cheerleaders, and the story, they invited over the nerd.
Sorry, yeah.
Are you right? You good?
Yeah, go. Sorry.
They invited over the nerd, and they were like, "Oh, can you help us, like, you know, help the team strategize, like the guide and all this shit?" And he's like, "Oh, I don't know." And then they said, "We'll suck your dick," and then they like sucked his dick, and it was crazy because I haven't been able to find that video since I was like 16. It's been like a 10-year journey to find this video again. The only thing I remember,
for that one?
I don't know. It's like, it's called, to me, it's hashtag nostalgia porn. And like, do you know what I mean? Like, you can have a whack and sort of go back to that time. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I know exactly what you mean. There's a few of my friends that are girls that would also know exactly what you mean.
What the fuck are you going? What are you talking about?
The nostalgia of having a whack and going back in time. Because that's definitely relatable to everyone.
Why did you make it weird? Why did you make it fucking weird?
How can you not make that weird?
Legitimately,
it was already weird to begin with. Bring that fucking nostalgia porn.
The only thing I know,
kept to yourself.
The brunette porn star died of a coke overdose. That's the only thing I remember. So if anybody can help us out, I feel like
a lot of brunette porn stars.
I think I might have found the porn star but like never found the video and like gone, oh, I wonder if she's still making stuff. And then like, oh, sorry, overdosed on coke. Sidebar real quick. Have you seen the YouTuber Brendan Buckingham? The Buckingham Show? You know what I'm talking about?
No.
Anyway, he went to AVN. Have we talked about this? I feel like we have. No.
These are very bloke conversations, by the way. That's why I meant. I'm sure the female listeners and all my friends that are girls would totally relate.
We don't have female listeners. You should know this. We are not attractive men. We do not.
Sorry, Brendan Buckingham. I do not know who that is. I've never heard of him.
He did a video where he went to like AVN and was talking to porn stars about like actual like philosophical questions.
As a nerd.
No, not as a nerd. It wasn't like this.
Oh, okay.
It was him just being himself, and it was like, no, it's a different one. It was more like asking about, I don't know, like if your daughter wanted to get into porn, would you let her? Like, would you support her? What has porn done for you? There was actually a few people, and
you brought this up in the last podcast.
Did I actually?
Yeah, you did. You almost word for word. Sorry.
Jesus fucking Christ. No, it's just interesting to like, you know, porn. That's it. That's all I got. Just porn stars, interesting. Sex workers, real work, etc.
Following your parents and doing porn when they did porn. Is that what you mean? That's fascinating to you.
No, not that. Just the fact that like porn can saves people's lives. Like they feel like being in the porn industry and being in the sex industry makes them feel alive. I don't know. It makes them feel fulfilled. More so like the porn industry, not the sex industry. Like just the fact of like you selling titty pics. I don't know. Like, I don't know. It's interesting. Like, you know, people have actually made like full on careers, like gone into directing and producing porn. Do you know what I mean? Like they've actually made, right. And like, yeah, not just starring in it. And they enjoy it. I don't know. I think it's more just, if you like it, you like it. And it's not like you're doing anything bad, are you?
No,
I don't know.
I think it actually like, you know, you look back at like 40 years ago, and of course, you know, people who don't understand it would be like, you know, that's fucking disgusting. It's this horrible industry. It's not a real thing. It shouldn't exist. But you look back and it's like, there was nothing that existed back then. I think there's a quote from Rebel Taxi. If you wanted to go see some weird shit, you actually go there. But nowadays, you just type it up on Google. Like, And it's like it's morbid, and it's like, oh god. But then you realize, oh, that's actually true. Fuck, oh god. But I mean, people, people love it. What can I say? It's an industry for a reason. I think it's better than people going crazy. I think watching porn than becoming psychos. A lot of people, but yeah.
I actually remember specifically there was like Brendan Buckingham
I know
at the AVN. He was saying, "I know you don't know what you're saying. You're a 23-year-old fucking virgin." Anyway,
shut the fuck up. How do you know that? Wink, wink. No, I'm not. He doesn't know. He doesn't know anything about me, actually.
I do.
Crass statement to make.
I actually know your address.
No clue.
I could.
You know my address. That's it. You don't know anything about my personal life or where I've been or.
I could chuck a friendly Geordies right now.
Fucking male slut.
I could chuck a friendly Geordies.
What do you mean chuck a friendly Geordies?
Remember how somebody tried to burn down his house? You're next.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, was this recent?
Yeah, somebody tried to like burn down his house, and he's like, the police asked, "Do you have any enemies?" And he goes, "Oh, let me tell you." Remember how like the whole John Barilaro and
yeah, I know. I remember that. What I can't stop thinking about is all the podcasts I've watched where Ben called you a virgin. I don't know if you're trying to like flip that on someone else after being called a virgin so many times.
I can tell you how many people I've had sex with.
Like a virgin?
Do you want to know how many people I've had sex with?
No, I don't.
It's none of your fucking business. We're on a podcast.
I already heard it in the previous podcast. You've said it in multiple podcasts because Ben like cornered you and made you talk about your sex life. I was like, Jesus fucking Christ, this is a public forum. Yeah. What are you talking about? It's all on video. I watched it recently. I was like, bro.
How many?
I don't know. I didn't know. It wasn't the how many. It was how recently. And I don't want to talk about this because I don't want to. I think this is ridiculous. They're like,
don't care.
You should be bringing this shit up on a podcast, man. That's
funny. I don't care.
It's not funny.
I have talked about the fact that I had cock and ball surgery.
Yeah, that's you though. That's like you don't give a fuck about that.
I don't. You know what? I don't care about what the thing. Okay. I'm going to relate
You don't care when people say that?
No, I'm going to relate this to a Childish Gambino song. So he has a song on his album. I'm actually, I'm legit. So on Childish Gambino, I need to find the fucking album. I think it's called Camp.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to get it up. Camp. What's the fucking last song on it? Because he does this like whole like narrative thing. Like he talks and there's like the beat over the back. Anyway, during it, he pretty much goes, if I can find the fucking lyrics, I'm scrolling. And he tells the story, blah, 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 about this girl. And it's like, oh, yeah, it's destiny for us to be together. And then the girl told everybody on the bus and all the girls laughed. And basically the story is, it's rather than he says, I told you something. It was just for you when you told everybody. I learned to cut it out the middleman, make it all for everybody, always. Everybody can't turn around and tell everybody. Everybody already knows. I told them. And I guess the moral of that is like, heaps of people could just spread shit about me and tell like my stories and stuff, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
I'm just going to fucking tell the world. What have I got to fucking lose? Do you know what I mean? Like that's...
I used to have that mentality. Stopped having that mentality.
Why?
Because people will bring it up. People will bring it up to randoms. Like my mate, when I was at a film shoot, just brings up that I was at the club with some chick, like crying because she left. I was so drunk out of my mind. When I was like 20, it was like a couple years ago. But he brought it up to just randoms who I just met. Huh?
But you laugh at that now, yeah?
Oh, like absolutely funny as story. Like I was so drunk, so I would have cried about anything. Probably. I don't know how much I had to drink. But like, that's when you know you're really drunk, by the way, when you start crying about nothing. He just brought it up to new people. You thought it was going to be what?
Like you shat yourself at the club. Like
I sometimes have fucking smelt that at the fucking club. That's fucked, by the way. That's not right when you're at a club and you start smelling some weird fucking shit. That's disgusting. Don't go to a club, guys. Don't. They're toxic places to be at. But I just think like when people know your shit and they start telling new people that you just met that day, that's fucked. That's just for the embarrassment of having to be there for it. Like, I'll agree with you. I don't care about people spreading all this shit about me that they might know. They might already know. But I'm not going to like continue to tell people, you know what I mean? Like continue just like spreading a bunch of stuff. I think that's I think that's going too far. Because what if you're in public and there's someone you'd never met and they bring up some really some shit that you probably in hindsight wish you didn't mention?
I have a story about that. Do you want to hear?
Oh no. Well, there you go.
It's not
okay,
bad.
Yeah, no,
it's not bad.
It would
but it
be
was
bad.
more
It was
like
so bad.
in my old hometown. It was in Mudgee, out on the town with my good man Blake. Shout out Blake. He's probably listening. In all honesty, he's probably listening. Shout out Blake Dwyer.
Blake.
So we were out in the town and like, hanging with some of these people he knew from school, blah, blah, blah. And this girl goes, "Oh, aren't you you're Matthew Winter. You're the one who got cheated on by his fiance with a child." And I'm like,
I would have thrown my drink in her face.
no, I'm like, yeah, it's me.
Did she follow up? Did she laugh at it, or what did she say after that?
Yeah, she laughed and then just changed the subject.
What fucking shit social awareness she has. What a dumb broad. Sorry.
it's dumb
I was going to say
broad.
dumb bitch.
That's
But
fine. I
That
think
is
it's funny.
like...
I don't know. Maybe okay, in all honesty.
I think we have a
maybe,
difference in like what's socially acceptable.
Okay,
with
here's
different
something.
opinions.
I think I really go along with the joke of like, I remember I said something to someone today. I said like, what did I say to him? I said, as a joke, we're just mucking around in the kitchen. "Oh, you have no brains." And he goes, "You have no bitches." And I'm like, "I know." And we all laugh. And then we go like, it's like, I don't know.
I think because I'm wired differently and my whole family's wired differently. When people start bringing up shit like that to you, or anything that you wish you didn't tell someone, or that you haven't actually told anyone, that like pisses you off. Not that I reckon that would always piss me off. I think only sometimes that would really get to me. Depends on the time, you know what I mean? It's like when your friends like bring something up that was, or you told them in confidence into a bunch of people, I'm just like, fuck that, man. Come on. That's where I draw the line. I think there's a line. I think there's socially acceptable. You can't let people get away with everything. Otherwise, people will get away with everything. They'll be able to say whatever the fuck they want to with zero consequences. Imagine their reaction if you just turn around and punch them in the face. I mean, you wouldn't do that because that's just ridiculous. But they would be like, they'd finally learn what's right. No, that's kind of... But most people I feel like just don't give a fuck what they say to their friends. I think that's a bit dog. I think you gotta understand. You can't be talking shit there.
I think it's more importantly, you got to read the room. Like, I'm not going to bring up like, Sam Davis. Aren't you that guy who was at the club and crying and shitting himself, shitting and pissing and coming at the same time and crying? Like, I'm not going to be like one of those blokes. You don't embarrass
pissing and coming and crying.
Yes, correct. Yes. All at the same time. But it's like, and that's the thing. I wouldn't make a joke about that about you if I didn't know you that well. Like, I have a story about that.
Yeah, when you don't know someone.
Like at work, like, when you work with people, you have a culture where it's like you can joke around, blah, blah, blah. And there was this girl who just started and, everyone else was like joking around. So she like put her foot in front of a manager and said, "Move it, bitch."
Yeah, you told me this.
I've always told this story. Fuck me. I have the worst
podcast.
memory. No, this is not good.
It's all right. It's okay.
I have
it's been
the
a
worst memory.
Big time.
I'll think about something I haven't really talked about recently. I don't know. What's going on with climate change? We haven't talked about that before.
No. I'm gonna say what my final thoughts on this topic, which I think is a very fascinating topic for the podcast. I think a lot of people will be able to relate with individuals like myself. Well, I consider myself an individual. I reckon I'm very differently wired to most people. Shut the fuck up, cunt. I'm a fucking indie, you little bastard. That's what my brother used to call me, actually. Little indie.
Why?
I reckon most people, when they don't know someone very well and they say something fucked up to them, they get really pissed off. As opposed to when they know someone really well and they say something fucked up, they're like, yeah, haha, funny joke. I'm more like, if you know me really well and you say something fucked up, you're gone. But if you don't know me badly, and this is a story I'm going to lead into, if you don't know me well at all and you say something bad, then it's like, I don't give a fuck. This guy at a bar that was friends with my mate Tristan, who I'm like, still talk to from time to time. Tristan, well,
Mm.
he has some bad friends in my opinion, because one of his friends was just like turned to me and just like, it's kind of funny in hindsight. I'd like had 2 conversations in my entire life. He goes, "You look like you get no bitches." He said, "You look like you get no see," and I was just like, "What the fuck?" I just didn't say anything. I think I was just like, "You all right? You're the fucking ugliest dumpster child in the world compared
See,
to."
that's just demeaning, isn't it?
Narcissistic. I think it's weird. I think it's very weird, like socially, to just turn around to someone and say that's like, what the fuck? Then again, I don't know what I've said when I'm drunk. I've probably said
Okay,
worse.
let me.
I don't know.
See, I'm the sort of person. If it's someone I don't really know, but I'm trying to like, have a good time and stuff. I'm more likely to like. I wouldn't be like, oh, this guy looks like he gets no pussy. That's just demeaning. That's weird. That's creepy.
It's weird. Yeah.
But do you know what I do? I go, oh, this guy looks like he fucks. Like this guy absolutely like fucks. It raises their confidence. There we go.
Yeah.
Makes them feel good. And it's like, it's obviously a fucking joke. They probably don't even get pussy at all. But you know what I mean? Like, it's just like, it's a good little joke around. It's a positive joke around. And like, I would do that. I wouldn't go up to somebody and like, oh, how you going, mate? Oh, this guy looks like he gets pussy. That's even weirder. I think.
Yeah, that is even. Weird.
Have a few drinks, hanging around for an hour or two, and just sort of get into it.
You like it when random people say you look like a famous actor that's like good looking. I reckon that's a nice. Even if you look nothing like the actor, I'm like, oh yeah, good on you, man. That's very nice of you. I think that's, and I think most of the time, I think with you as well, most of the time you get good comments from people. I think it's rare that people turn around and say something that's like really crass and just out of the fucking blue, and you're like, what? Like, you're something you weren't expecting, I think most people are fairly nice.
What compliment do you get about you a lot from people? Or like, for example, your parents come up to you and say, "Oh, I saw so and so, and they said that you are someone." You know what I'm saying?
Oh, whenever my mum, like, because I live in a small community. Like, I lived in this town my whole life.
Martha, what the fuck?
Hey,
Sorry,
no
continue.
doxing. Mount Martha's pretty nice. When you come here, you'll regret saying that, you little bastard.
I probably will, to be honest.
It's my mum bumps into a lot of like primary school people I used to know from way back then. Or high school.
I think you're saying, oh, they bumped into primary school kids and like they said,
no.
Been coming people around the schools a lot.
No,
Sam's been coming around the school
fucking
like,
hell.
Someone like lollies through the fence. Continue.
God. What the fuck, man? No, she bumps into people who are my age, who I went to primary school with, and it's always girls that are working at the local restaurants, the shops, and they always, actually there's been like a few of them that have asked after me, like, oh, and Sam, how's he going? And mum's like, oh yeah, she's good. And then she comes home and says, this gorgeous girl that's your age, Sam, she asked after you and she was very interested in you and what's happening with you. And I'm like, oh, okay, all right. And then sometime, I think there was one time where she came in and I looked up the girl on Instagram. She's like fucking married or some shit. She's like 22.
Oh, so
and
you
married.
thought you
Everyone's
had a chance.
married.
Yeah. So you're like, oh fuck yeah, mum. Did you rizz me up? Did you rizz me up, mum? Did you rizz me up?
Exactly, mum. I need mummy to help me with this. Mummy, please help me with my dating life.
Oh fuck! I really want to take my headset off right now after hearing that.
Oh my god. No, imagine. No. It's our basement dweller kids like us. I reckon we do actually ask.
Continue.
The fuck is this podcast, man?
See, do you know what I get a lot? Sorry, continue.
What do you get? I was just gonna say that's just how it is.
I get a lot of, you look like a guy who has like a massive penis. Like I'm talking not like above average. Like I'm talking like elephant cock. Like you look like a guy when you were in year 12 on the back of your jersey, it said elephant cock, and like the school didn't really want it. And then they were like, well, he does have an elephant cock, so let me have it. Like you look like that sort of guy. That's what I get all the time. It's not true. I don't
understand why that's a
compliment
compliment though. I think that's
having
a weird one.
Having an elephant cock. Do you think I get bullied for having an elephant cock? No.
You don't
If
get
you can-
bullied for it, but you suffer it in the long run.
Have you heard about like the man with the largest penis in the world, and he's actually like
Yeah,
really sad?
he's wearing bike shorts in the Guinness Book of
Mm.
Records photo. Oh,
And actually, with that,
thanks.
there was so Total Divas, WWE Total Divas. It was like the reality show with like the divas, and there was this chick called, I think her name was Cameron or something like that. She was one of the divas. She's a wrestler, and she was with this big Italian guy called Vinny. And I was like watching the opening scenes, and it's like she was in pain, all this stuff, and I'm like, what is going on? Because I was half watching it, and like I start paying attention. The issue is, and the storyline for this episode is, Vinny's penis is too big and it hurts when they have sex.
See, that's just like sad to hear about. That's not how, because they're obviously in love, but they've got that issue in their relationship,
up.
and there's no such thing as a
up.
penis reduction. Oh, that's sad. Oh, because of that?
No,
Surely
not because of
not,
that.
because of that.
No,
Oh, yeah.
probably because she was. No, probably not. Do you actually want to hear what I do get compliments about?
Yeah, well, we've heard
guess,
one of
have
the
a
things you
guess.
get compliments about, so we'll hear the next one.
Have a guess what it actually is. Have a guess. I'm a nice guy. Not just
Oh
nice.
man,
There's
what
two
would I
things.
compliment Matthew Winter about if I saw him and your smile.
That is the
Aw.
fucking
Gay.
cutest thing you've ever said. No, it's nice, which is like a good and a bad thing, and I'm very
Yeah.
well spoken. I like the well spoken one. I don't like the nice one because like, oh, he's such a nice guy. What the fuck? I'm handsome. I'm smart. I don't know. I'm fucking a good leader. I don't know. Even give me bullshit like that. Oh, he's such a nice guy. Fucking
take
lick
the
my
nice
balls,
guy
suck
one.
the nut. Would you really?
Well, you don't want to be our nice guys, the subreddit. You don't want to be in that category.
No, fuck that.
But no, yeah, you take whatever you can get, mate. Honestly, these days, it's tough times. No one's everyone's thinking about themselves. It's rare that people think about others and say how great others are. You take
You
what you
sound
get.
like the sort of guy who would settle for the first girl that made eye contact with you.
I'm actually the opposite, believe it or
Really?
not. Yeah, I'm the complete opposite. Dun,
Go on.
dun. No, that's why my friends bring up the stories of me in clubs is like, shut the fuck up. Because when when you get a few drinks down me, anything's possible. But when I've got a clear, sound mind, I like to think I'm a very, what's the word? Like a gentleman from the 1920s.
Oh, you're the Rizzler. Adolf Rizzler.
What? The Rizzler? What does the Rizzler mean?
Do you know what Rizz is? It's like game. Have you never heard of that?
I don't think I have. I must have, but or I just forgot about it.
It's a new term. Like they say to me, the guys at work
Yeah,
say to me all the
never heard of
time,
it.
Rizz, W Rizz, Win Rizz. It's Adolf Rizzler, the Rizz.
Is this the bloke that thinks he's the most important? Is that kind of what it?
No, not most
comes
important. It's
down
more
to?
like no. It's got like he's got game. He can talk to girls. He can like you know,
Okay.
that's more that. Which
I
you do have.
consider
none.
myself someone who's a bit of a Rizzler then, yeah.
Holy fuck! Are you sure? Like
Yeah.
fucking.
I
I
mean,
think you need.
Does
you
a
have the
Rizzler mean
receipt?
you can talk to girls, or does a Rizzler mean you're
No.
successful or highly successful with girls? I mean,
I feel like
where's the scale? Like, where does it land?
I feel like being a Rizzler. If you want to be like a proper Rizzler, it's like you have girls in the palm of your hand. Do you know what I'm saying? Which I do not at all.
Yeah, you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna talk up myself here. I think in the right time, in the right place, if you dress me properly, queer eye for the straight guy, you dress me in like good clothes. And I'm not wearing some crap that I used to wear because I didn't have a fashion sense when I was young. I still don't have a great fashion sense. Then I reckon I could be a bit of a Casanova, a bit of a Rizzler. Get me to the Diamond Ball Jubilee. I don't know what the fuck I'm saying.
Do you know what I think? Do you want my honest
Charming.
opinion? Do you want my honest?
Yeah, give me your honest
not
opinion, mate.
My honest.
I'll give you my honest opinion.
My honest, non-podcast persona opinion is you're one of those
so
blokes. You'll be talking to a girl. You think you're risen her up. You're risen her up. apparently, in quotations, for like 2 hours. And then she goes, "Oh my God, Sam, I've had such a good night. I wish I could find guys like you." And then she turns around and then she goes on the dance floor and then starts shaking her fucking ass. And you realize I just spent 2 hours trying to Rizz, and she
Has that happened to you?
No, it hasn't.
That has never happened to me.
I've never even got to the point. Like, I'm not a fucking, not that I'm not an idiot. Maybe I just don't even try it, but it's like, oh, if I fail, I fail. Who cares? But it's more like, I'm not going to put myself in a situation where it's like, I don't know. I think girls also, all they do is like, all women lie. Okay, no, this is turning into...
Okay, wait, go back to the situation. You're not going to put yourself in the situation. Have you not going to put yourself in the situation, or you haven't been in the situation where you're just talking to a random girl at like a club or a bar for a while and having a nice chat with her,
No,
and then it goes
I
wrong
have.
or it goes right? Yeah,
I have.
I'm just checking. Just want to see what's.
I just have a chat. Do you know what I mean? Like, to me, it's like, oh, I don't see it as anything more.
Yeah, no. I reckon
mean?
I'm similar. Depends what kind of vibe, because some people are a vibrator. You know, they're just constantly putting out vibes.
What the
That's
fuck
not a
did
sexual
you say?
thing. That's not a sexual thing. This is a real thing. They're a vibrator, so they're putting out vibes. Doesn't mean doesn't mean what you think it means. It's from a show that I like. They look like they're putting out a lot of vibes. I think this, maybe you're right, actually. Maybe I am the guy that thinks it. Nah. There's definitely been a couple of times where I've talked to a girl for a while and she was a vibrator, and I think she just wanted a bit of attention. She's maybe going through a bit of a rough patch in a relationship. And then she mentioned she has a boyfriend, and I'm like, that's kind of weird. The way you were kind of half flirting a little bit there before, and then you tell me you have a boyfriend. I'm like, eh?
Maybe you're the one who was wrong, and you just thought that she was flirting, and she was just.
There has been times when I was younger, when I was a teenager, where I was the one who was wrong. But I reckon a couple of times that happened recently when I was out and about, I didn't think I was wrong. I refuse to admit I was wrong in those scenarios.
I refuse to admit I was wrong.
Sound like my brother.
You shouldn't talk shit about your brother on the podcast. He's gonna listen.
Nah, we love our family.
Do we?
This has been such a different podcast to the previous one, which is why I like it so much. I love how we're changing it up. Like, obviously the viewers don't want to listen to the same crap over and over. It's like a more deeper kind of, more on the spot. We're putting each other. I think there's a lot of putting each other on the spot here, which is what I like. I like that shit.
You know, if we get sponsored by Spotify, we get exclusive on Spotify, or they put us in some promotion material, I want to have, it's going to say, on We Talk. We're like Joe Rogan, but for like mid-20s white losers. Let's go with
for
that.
mid-20s runts of the litter.
Not the fucking runt shit. Fuck. We're like fucking 43 minutes in. I can fucking swear now. You are probably the worst co-host I've ever fucking had.
I know he means best, guys. I know he means best.
You know what? You're not fucking funny, cunt.
Not this one.
Isn't it funny? Just like last episode, I had some notes written down, and we've gone through none of them. Did you actually write notes? I don't write. You know what? Fuck the notes. I don't want to.
My notes was one story about
story?
how embarrassing I was when I was younger, but that can be in the paywall one. So guys, if the paywall is still not working, find a way to get it working. You know, maybe start the router up again. If the
marketing genius, fucking what a hard sell for the fucking Ennui.plus. Speaking of, I actually need to check before the episode. Me and Sam, I said to Sam, hey, I think somebody is like, I can't really get into the website right now. So people who are trying to listen to last week's episode, they can't actually listen to it right now because I'm trying to fix the website. It's fine. Don't worry about it. The kids are going to be fine. But yeah, we have a post show.
Why you keep saying the kids? It just like...
Everybody has a fan-based name. Shane Dawson has the Dawes heads. David Dobrik has the Dobricks. We have...
And we're the kids. We have the kids. No, fuck that. I'm not going to be associated. Nah. See, Ben was right, man. You're fucked.
Okay, what would you call our fans then? What would you call our fans? Hey, Ennui heads. Cringe. L.
Fun guy.
Hey, fun guy. Hey, Greg. Do you like that?
Fungus. Hey, Greg. Nah.
Hey, Greg. Our fans are Greg. No, that's I stole that, by the way. Danny Gonzalez. He's a YouTuber, commentary YouTuber. You wouldn't know. Sorry that I don't watch a movie YouTube like you.
You wouldn't know. It
Movie-
doesn't even give me a chance to
movie
jog my memory.
YouTube. You didn't even know who.
Movie reviews.
Oh, yeah,
Didn't even know who.
You know what? How about you just
I'm
watch
proud
the
I
fucking
don't know any
movie?
of the shitty modern YouTubers. Do you know how bad YouTube is these days? Fuck that shit. I don't want to know any of them. That's such a fucked noise for the audio listeners.
Thank you for listening to the On We Talk
Thanks,
podcast.
guys.
If you'd like
Thanks
to
for
listen
this
to the
one.
post show, On We Talk after show, it'll run for about 30 minutes. It's going to be behind a paywall, onwe.plus. Like, subscribe, tell your friends. I actually think like it took me 8 years to get this podcast to be really good. And it's been weighed down a little bit with Sam, but that's fine. So now it's just like a good podcast. That's fine. You know what?
Man.
You weren't my first option.
If I'm honest, I'm your best option. Fuck you. If I'm completely honest, I'm a fucking saint. I'm the fucking I'm the white knight for this podcast. I came in at the perfect time. Number one Christian podcast, my ass. I came in at just the right time to save this show. And if you don't appreciate what the fuck that I'm saving this operation, man, this guy's cooked. Thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate the viewership
Or listening.
and look forward to next time where we talk about
don't tell them
the French.
Just for next time, guys, if you are listening, we're probably fading out right now. We've got a special guest next episode. Awesome. Pretty cool, right? Okay, bye, guys.